Hello grade 8, this chapter is chapter 1D, sequences in context. So in this chapter we're going to be applying the term to term rule, the position to term rule, and the general term to situations. So you will use the term to term rules and the position term rules in these situations, and you will also use that general term just as I had just said before. So we will use an example from your textbook to demonstrate this idea. In this example, in week 1, Stephen has 10 pounds in his bank account. His grandma adds 6 pounds each week to help him save. How much is in his account after a year? So the key question is how much is in his account after 1 year? We also know that his grandma adds 6 pounds each week. And keeping in mind, there are 52 weeks in 1 year. And we also know that Stephen already has 10 pounds in his bank account to start. So step 1, to find the term to term rule, we have to create ourselves a table of values. And after you've created this table of values, use that table of values to find the position to term rules. So I'll start you off. So here, the term is going to be the end product, meaning how much he has exactly after each week. And the position is basically week 1, week 2, week 3, and so forth. So we're going to label that with week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, and you can keep going. I'm just going to stop at 6 as that's where my table is. Now from here, let's read the information. In week 1, Stephen has 10 in his bank account. So in week 1, he already has 10 pounds in his bank account. Now his grandma adds 6 to each week to help him save. So 10 plus 6 is 16, and so forth and so forth. So at this time, pause the video to complete this table, and then use it to find the term to term rule and then the position to term rule. So if you completed this table, it should look something like this. And from here, to find the term to term rule, remember it's going in between each term. So the term to term rule here in this case is to start at 10 and to add 6 every time. And as we said before, once you know the term to term rule and what's happening in between each term, that magically helps feed into your position to term rule. So we know that our final term, T of n, the total amount that he has, is equal to, since it's plus 6 every time, we know it's 6 times the position. And now you have to think, what are you adding on? So if we know it's 1 times 6 to make 6, but how do you get 10? You have to add 4. And so you test it out. 2 times 6 is 12, 12 plus 4 is 16. Okay, so yes, that is our position to term rule. So then in the previous slide, we figured out that the position to term rule, or the general term, we figured out the general term. The position to term rule is actually to times 6 and add 4. So then that helped create the general term, which is this equation, T of n equals 6n plus 4. So now knowing that, we want to figure out how much he has in his account after 1 year. Remembering that n represents our weeks. And I said at the beginning that we have 52 weeks in 1 year. So once you now know that, use it in the formula and you should have an answer. So pause the video, figure it out, and then start when you're ready. So if you complete the problem and you replace that position, that n, with the 52, because that represents how many weeks in a year, you should have 316 pounds after 1 year. That's it.